How can I help you?
Before you stands a dwarf. He has stern, rugged features and looks to be well armed. He fills his pipe with tobacco from Garin? Forgot how they said it. Lights it and blows out a cloud of smoke. Finally, he addresses you in a deep, dignified voice. Who are you?
Don't you remember our last meeting?
Yes.
The name is Greybor. I'm an assassin for hire. But I suspect you're not here for small talk. Are you in need of my services?
Still smoking his pipe, the dwarf offers you a cursory salute. You tried to kill that huge demon at the Battle of Dresden, but you failed. What happened?
Yes, that was a failure. It was supposed to be a clean job. An anonymous client, a worthy target, a substantial fee. But the client insisted that I use an enchanted dagger they provided. I was assured that a single hit would be enough to finish the job, but it didn't work as expected. It was a serious blow to my reputation. And my reputation is everything to me.
I want to hire you for a dragon hunt.
A large adult female? The one that's been snatching people and carrying them off? I've heard about her. That's an impressive target. I can take this job, but only if we do it soon. I'm expecting a new assignment from my regular client, and I'll have to leave as soon as I have the orders. And of course, you should know that this dragon will not come cheaply. 2,500 gold, paid in advance.
Talk about that's nothing, man. The tavern owner just gave me 15,000 gold for cleaning up the tavern. How about a small discount, though?
Let's think this through. Are there lots of assassins in this town who have the valuable experience of subduing dragons and are willing to work for you? Will I lose any profit by protracted haggling? Will you? Is there any chance that someone less competent than I am will be able to locate your target as efficiently as I would? No, I don't think so. There is absolutely no reason for me to give you any discounts. 2,500 gold is an honest price for the head of a fire breather.
It's a good price, to be honest. Although, to be fair, my man, I don't think I actually need you. I think I could find the dragon myself, personally. But I'll pay you, because you're a companion, basically.
Excellent. Let's get down to business. It's no easy thing to take down a dragon when you don't have wings, so you'll need to follow my lead. The best thing would be to catch her by surprise in her lair, but we need to find it first. Of course, since she doesn't leave tracks, that might be tricky, but I think I have a solution. We need to go west of Dresden, to the Grimwood Forest. The dragon's been seen there often. According to the scouts, this is likely because there's still some wild game left in those parts. We'll set up an ambush there. I hope I can rely on your honesty. I understand that on our way to the dragon, there may be other fights or places we need to visit for various reasons. That's to be expected. However, should I see that you are deliberately delaying the contract, or that you're dragging me off to assault some demon citadel instead of going after the dragon, we will have to revise the terms of our agreement.
Okay. Pleasant man right there. And we got all of his stuff right here, too. Okay, let's check him out. So he is a slayer, which is my class as well. So I don't really like that. I mean, he's level 9 already in the Slayer class. I don't know if we want to dip him into something else. If we want to do a sort of 11-9 split or what. So, hold on. Let me see his stats again. What would he be good at? So he's got high strength. Okay dex. Okay con. And then slightly above average int and wisdom. So a barbarian? maybe. Barbarian would be okay. I guess any martial class would fit. Are there any barbarians that would go well with an assassin? A rogue obviously would be an okay fit too, like a thug or something, but that's kind of basic. Would a vivisectionist be good for him? I know it's got sneak attack still. I don't know if strength is good for them though. I think they usually need int too, right? All right, so we need a physical base class. Ooh, 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 ooh. The Titan Fighter. I think so. I think yes. I think yes. So, I don't know if there's really any good synergy between a Slayer and a Titan Fighter, but I just think the fiction of this class is so cool. You know, just wielding two big great swords. Ah, so cool. Just you know, makes the you know, the violent man in me just excited. What can I say? If that makes sense. So you get the giant weapon wielder. At first level, a Titan fighter learns to wield two-handed melee weapons in one. And I think he's already got like these things, right? Two-weapon fighting. Dwarven war axes, that's not great. Compass sneak attack or hammer the gap, power attack. Oh, that's fine though. This is a bit of a waste. But, you know, we'll make do. The waste of 1 feat isn't like the end of the world. Plus, as a fighter, we'll get bonus feats, so we'll be able to make that up. We can do like great axes. Ooh, 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 ooh. So good. I'm excited already. All right, it's all right. Yeah, we're doing it. I don't even care. Bonus combat feat for you. We need another weapon focus. Weapon focus. Okay. We could do the great axe. I need to know other. Wait, can we do like Oh, I don't think he's got exotic weapons, does he? Is it Dwarven Urgrosh? Is that a two-handed weapon? It'd be kind of cool to keep him with the Dwarven stuff, since he's got the Dwarven War Axe. Let me, I'm gonna look up real quick if the Dwarven Urgrosh is a two-handed weapon. I think it is. The other thing that would be cool is a Foul Shard, but unfortunately we'd have to get exotic weapons too for that. And I don't think we've already wasted 1 feat with the weapon focus. I don't think we want to use another feat just to get that. Let's see, Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, Dwarven Urgrosh. What is it? Is it blah, 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 blah. It is an exotic. Is it one-handed or two-handed? Why is it not telling me? What? Why? Is it two-handed or not? Alright, that doesn't tell me. Two-handed archetype dwarf with Dwarven Urgrosh. The Dwarven Urgrosh is not a two-handed weapon. It's a double weapon. Okay. Then we don't want that. Never mind. Okay, so I think we'll just get the Great Axe then. Which is something it suggests anyway. I guess all these two-handers? No. Kukri's definitely not. So the Great Axe, I think, is what we want. Now, the Dwarven War Axe, that's not a two-hander, right? No, because he's already dual-wielding him, so there's no way. The Great Axe. There you go, buddy. You'll be fine with those for now, but eventually we'll get you some Great Axes. We don't have one already, do we? No. Do I have anything else you'd want? No, I don't have any gear. He is neutral. And now that he's a Titan fighter, we're probably going to bring him with us. Okay, cool. Alright, guys. I think that's a good spot to end this episode. We've done everything in Dresden. So I guess it's time to leave.
Onwards!
We have nothing else to do. I suppose we should probably sleep, since we used some abilities to kill those swarms. And we don't want to leave if we're not at full strength. So yeah, we will let's go ahead and rest now. And maybe get some food. Do we eat? Uh-oh. That sounded like something was happening. Okay, so food. We want one that doesn't... So fish on a stick is good. Any others that do that? No, it's just fish on a stick. Alright, fish on a stick it is. Go ahead and... You should be making us scrolls. There we go. And yes, roll of haste. That's a 15-hour sleep.
What if I once killed one of your fellow paladins? Someone you knew?
Well, I won't lie. It would be a hard pill to swallow. But we just need to try even harder to honor your victim's memory.
What if she kills again? That was a 15-hour sleep. Damn. Manorak, you've got business to do, buddy. Damn it. Silkind. Before you stands a tall, fit man whose dark hair is already tinged with gray. He greets you with a brisk military salute. My name is Captain Silkind. I command the vanguard of a mercenary group called the Blackstone Company. We've come from Andoran to assist you. Tell me more about your unit. The Blackstone Company is proud to be recognized as one of the finest Andoran mercenary regiments. We're not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve the tyrants of the world. No. We're adventurers eager to get involved in a dangerous enterprise and leave it with pockets full of gold and a clear conscience. Which is why we held a vote among our units. We were glad to accept Queen Galfrey's invitation to join the crusade, though some of our commanders did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. But like I said, we Andorans are free people who cannot be pushed around and who cannot be bought, only convinced. Why'd you join up with us? Queen Galfrey paid for our services, but please do not think we're fighting for gold alone. We are true sons and daughters of Andoran, so the ideals of equality and resisting enslavement ring true in our hearts. We will be glad to stand in the way of demons who seek to force mortal kind into bondage. The bulk of our company made camp in Nerisian, but the vanguard, consisting of our finest soldiers, if I may add, was put under your command. Tell me more about you. The man flashes a genuine smile. I don't even know what to say. I'm a soldier, a bit of an explorer, and just an all-around honest man. Sure you are. Get on with your duties. Yes, sir. Glad to be under your command. Captain Silkind salutes you again, smiles, and adds in a softer voice. It will be an honor to serve with you, Commander. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need to talk, I'd be happy to lend an ear. Okay. Erushale? Erebeth said that we are under threat from demons with unusual abilities, like that Nabasu that attacked your army at the Lost Chapel. Yeah, we've already talked about this. They're very powerful, and they're growing in number. You haven't found out where they're coming from, have you? Erushale looks around shyly and continues, lowering her voice, as if entrusting you with a personal secret. I'm not sure, but I think I have a lead. I know where to find someone who can lead us to the source of their power. Who are you talking about? a hag by the name of Jerunica. Jerunica? Jerunica. Jerunica. She used to live here, before the fall of Sarkoris, but then the demons invaded this world. She happily took their side. The old cannibal knows many secrets. You just have to make her talk. Does this Jerunica have any special powers? Her? Doubt it. But still, be careful. She is very old, very sly. And she's incredibly dangerous. Where can I find her? This place is called the Green Gates. I'll show you how to get there. Long ago, before the world boon, there was a Sarkorian fortress here. Then Crusaders built a small chapel, but for many, many years the place has been home to nothing but abomination and squalor. How did you find out about this? Arushale quickly looks at the faces of those present and seems to curl in on herself. Quietly, almost whispering, she says, "That is a long story. I will tell you when we get there, alright? Thanks for the tip. Happy to help. It's just..." Arushale looks around cautiously again and lowers her voice. "You won't get there without me, will you? I want to personally make sure this monster doesn't escape you." "Yeah, sure thing." Oh my god, everybody's coming. I have one night of rest and everybody comes out of the woodworks, huh? Captain Odin. The tall, gaunt half-elf salutes you solemnly. "Commander, it's an honor to call this first meeting of the Military Council to order. I am Captain Odin, and I've been serving under your command ever since the assault on the Great Garrison. I will do my best to be as much use to you as possible in this role. The foundation of the military is cold calculation and discipline. These are the principles I will seek to impart to the Crusaders. If we win this war, we must forget about mercy. For our enemies, for our troops, and for ourselves." "Well, Commander, your sister Sela is no renowned general, but she spent half her life tussling with evil. It looks like I'll be stepping up on behalf of all of Iomede's faithful here. I hope my advice will prove useful." "Master, your army needs to change. The Uplanders have already proven that their methods of warfare are lacking, and their fastidious leads to unnecessary losses. I'll teach them how to cast aside their morals and destroy the enemy by the most ruthless means available." "Demons aren't the first invaders to come to the lands of Sarkoris. I know this country, and I know how people used to fight here in the old days. Listen to me, War Chief, and I'll tell you how to turn the land itself into our ally." The first issue on the Military Council's agenda is the reorganization of troops. Our infantry has been bled dry. The forces Her Majesty has granted us were enough to take Dresden, but we need more troops to hold it. Furthermore, the army was assembled in great haste after the assault of Canabras. It was never adequately equipped. Unfortunately, we don't have much time for redeployment. Our scouts report that a powerful Balor, Khorramzada, is already preparing a retaliatory strike on Dresden. Fire this guy, he can't speak. But we can't rely on freshly conscripted Mendevian soldiers. They may not have the skill, but our strength, as always, lies in the number and the fervor of volunteers joining the Crusades. We can't throw everyone into the meat grinder. We'll just get our youths killed for nothing. We need to select the best among the recruits, or even better, hold a contest. The bravest and most capable will join the Crusades. The death count is always highest in the infantry. Its purpose is to serve as a shield. It'd be wise to invest our resources in hiring and training heavy footmen with shields to ensure maximum protection, even if it limits their mobility and makes them less threatening to the enemy. An ominous smile spreads across Windwalk's face. I've noticed that not all Uplanders are equal. While some eat and drink all they like, others sit in stone cells for gongs on end, feeding on refuse. You call those criminals? They have no rights. So why don't we force them to join our ranks and get ourselves a fresh supply of troops? Never enough folk, same in war as it is in peacetime. We dealt with that problem by finding helpers among the animals. Why can't we do the same now? Strengthen the infantry war dogs. One soldier with a dog at his side is more like 1.5 fighters, maybe even 2. What does the Military Council do, Captain Odin? The Military Council determines the strategy for our troops, enacts army reforms, approves new equipment standards, It makes decisions on all issues regarding the military actions on the front lines. Who is this Balor Koremzada? Korra for short. The most trusted servant of the Demon Lord Discari. Among the historians of the Mendevian Crusades, he's known as the strategist of the World Wound. He is not as renowned as Minago, the conqueror of Dresden, or Hepzibah, daughter of Baphomet, but he has claimed the most major victories over the forces of Mendev. He's a general, and quite possibly one of the best tacticians in the entire Abyss. I've been studying his style of warfare for years. He may seem like an ordinary demon, another typical war taskmaster, but that's a fallacy. Like a beast following a scent, he senses weakness in his enemies' defenses and strikes at them, sending soldiers to bring targeted carnage. His uncanny charisma attracts more and more soldiers to him, so he's never short of troops and sacrifices them like pawns whenever he pleases in order to achieve his victories. Korra is the face of the demon host. For many years, I've been gathering research on him, preparing for the day our armies would clash with his once more. I hope my counsel will help you defeat him, but so far, Korra has known no defeats. I have a question for my advisors. Ready to answer any questions you may have. Sela, have you ever commanded an army before? Not on a scale like this, of course not. But I fought evil, and I know its tricks. Besides, war makes people callous, and it's always useful to have a paladin advisor around to remind you at crucial moments what you're actually fighting for, right? Reggie, why do you wish to sit on the military council? I have command experience, and I intend to impart to the Crusaders at least a modicum of that discipline and rigidity of the Hell Knights. The quality of the Mendevian staff currently available to you leaves much to be desired. He glances at the wincing Captain Odin. That much is certain. Windwog, you want to command my troops? Windwog raises her head proudly. And why not? I used to lead our tribe's hunters through the most dangerous caves, and we always returned with spoils. I know how to win, how to think ahead, how to be merciless, and I'll certainly be a better advisor to you than this Uplander. Her casual nod in Captain Odin's direction makes him frown with displeasure. Ulberg, do you have military experience? Do I have experience? Ha! I fought on this land back when it was still called Socorus. I led my clan on raids against our neighbors, drove invaders from our lands, and I went to war with my band against orcs and giants. What kind of Sokorian would I be if I stood on the sidelines now? Who are you, Captain Odin? He bows ceremoniously. I've served on the front lines of the Mendevian army for over 25 years, and in that time I've gained a wealth of combat experience. His voice sounds calm, but his face darkens at the mention of a wealth of combat experience. I'm considered one of the foremost experts on tactics and strategy in Queen Galfrey's officer corps. I've spent my whole life studying the craft of warfare, and I'm familiar with the thoughts of all prominent military leaders of the last 5 centuries. Furthermore, I wholeheartedly believe in the traditions of Mendev's military art, and will gladly share my knowledge with you, Commander. I want to hear the opinions of my advisors. Sela, do you really need only the bravest and most capable for our infantry? I mean, we can't send untrained rookies to a slaughter. We have the right to command only those who are ready for battle, those who can defeat the enemy. We must find out who has the skill and the guts. Contests are perfect for that, and a little excitement for our warriors couldn't hurt either. We won't get that many winners, but their strength will come from their prowess, not their numbers. Your proposal would leave us with an infantry full of selfish risk-takers dreaming of glory and valor. That is bad material for your soldier. The infantry's role is to be a shield for the archers and mages. All they're required to do is follow orders and hold the line, unto victory or death. Ambitious loners cherry-picked through contests of skill are not fit to perform this duty. Reggie, why do you insist on shield bearers? The infantry is a meat shield intended to catch the blade of the opposing army in its flesh. The shield must be reliable. That is all that is required of it. That is why I would like to see well-armored shield bearers as our foot soldiers. We must have the option of pitting ranks of footmen against a tide of rampaging demons, knowing with certainty that they will not scatter or die until they have completed their tasks. Windowog, is it wise to rely on scoundrels and criminals? I don't plan to rely on them. I plan to rely on the chain of archers who will follow them and shoot anyone who dares to run. The foot soldiers will have no choice but to fight, and those hardened criminals know how to fight for their lives. It's true, they won't charge into battle shouting your name, master, but their upkeep will cost us a pittance. They'll serve their purpose as a meat shield, and no one will shed any tears over their demise. Since they wronged the tribe, let them atone for their deeds with blood. Besides, other uplanders also have prisons filled with criminals, do they not? We can borrow them. Our neighbors will be only too happy to have fewer mouths to feed. This is like some wicked parody of redemption. Giving them a chance to turn over a new leaf is one thing. By herding them to their deaths with bows trained at their backs, this is not what the Crusades should be. So it's like the condemned, right? Ulbrig, how will war dogs help our infantry? Our Laurel Hound is more than just a set of sharp fangs. It is an extra pair of eyes, keen senses, and another head in a way. It's no soldier, but it's extra fighting power. Since we can't get any more human warriors from anywhere, we should swell the ranks with four-legged fighters. An excellent idea, Chief Birdbrain. Let's assemble an army of stray mutts, filthy crows, and street rats. I heard lots of soldiers are complaining of lice and fleas. Let's throw them into the mix too. Waste not, want not, right? A soldier and all his fleas is practically a platoon. Captain Odin, you just want to gather up some recruits from Endev? Yes. Institute a draft, and try to amass as many new soldiers from Endev and other lands as we can. We have always drawn our strength from our zeal and our determination to oppose evil. If we start holding contests or selections, we'll turn our Holy Crusade into a job for the chosen few and scare away future volunteers. If we try changing our tried and true tactics, we'll lose valuable time, and our army is in need of fresh blood right now. The shield those misfit losers are going to form will be flimsy as shit. We'd better support it with a line of crossbowmen at the rear, who won't let them take off at the first sign of trouble. Okay, so we'll hold contests. That gets us champions, powerful shock infantry. All footmen would be promoted to champions. We do have a ton of footmen at the moment. That would be pretty good, actually. Can we, like, see what these guys are good at? So, footmen. AC 4. Okay. I wish we could compare. Like, at the same time as the other things. Can we, actually? No. Okay. So, champions, 23 hit points. So, less hit points. Less AC. But Masterwork Greatsword. So, plus 15. Doing 15 to 25 damage. So, a massive damage boost. Same speed. Less initiative, though. Okay. So, yeah, shock troops. We have the shield bearers, which is what we went with in our original playthrough. Yeah, great AC. Bad speed, I think, is their weakness. They do more damage than the footmen. We could go with the criminal choice. Convicts. Same speed. Less hit points. Less initiative. Same size. Less AC. Less damage. What is the point of them? I guess they can hit better. I don't know about them. That seems like a pretty shit choice. Why not just keep the footmen? I guess they, you know... No. I don't see any real reason to do that. Let's use dogs to reinforce our infantry. Houndmasters. Plus 2 to initiative. More hit points. Better AC. And better damage. Or same damage, but more hit chance. And to be honest, I kind of like the Hound idea. And then this, we'd get conscripts. Which... looks like just straight up upgrades over the footmen. Less initiative. But a lot more hit points. Low morale. Poorly trained but cheap and numerous infantry. Numerous. I think that's the key. Whereas we could get a lot of them. Let's drag the criminals out of the dungeons and make infantry of them. Windorah grins maliciously. I'll find the meanest jailers to keep that riffraff in check. We'll need to scare our new soldiers real good, so they won't even think of running away. Captain Odin salutes you formally. Thank you for your time, Commander. When the reforms are finished and the rank of our infantry are replenished, I will assemble the military council to discuss new decisions. I think we're gonna be stuck here for a while. Hail, Commander. Before you, an aged yet fit and sturdy Garundi, stands at attention. His dark skin has an earthy tone to it, and crystals spark forth from where his hair and eyebrows meet, or should be, clearly identifying him as an Oread. Captain Harmattan, chair of your staff council, by order of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, here to deliver a report. I'm on this council too. Man, you're just everywhere, aren't you? Sela salutes briskly. We'll be racking our brains on how to improve troop morale. I reckon the key is to back up our words with actions. Lead your soldiers by example, and they'll be eager to follow. Oh, you're on this one too, Reggie. Drawing on my experience as a paralictor, my advice is to maintain calculated moderation in every regard, be it an incentive or penalty, and to be decisive. We have no need for doubts or turmoil. Darren, I'm doomed to be your advisor, but do you know what that means? That you're doomed to listen to my advice. To start things off, here's an incredibly novel and deep thought for you. Loyalty, passion, and morale. All of these things can easily be bought with money. Commander, permission to report. We've encountered a problem. Although we're still getting volunteers, we're now seeing cases of desertion. Many who joined the Dresden campaign believe that their duty has been fulfilled with a victory, and they are not keen on staying in the garrison. Those from Canabras wish to return home and rebuild their ruined city. Lastly, there are those who are afraid of lingering in a place where demons might show up with a retaliatory expedition at any moment. My suggestion is to improve living conditions for the privates. Raise their pay, give them extra rations, and reward those who have distinguished themselves on the battlefield with commendations and gifts. Soldiers don't want to leave armies that appreciate them. I feel for those good folk, but we have to convince them to stay. I think we might get some help from the servants of the gods. They'll tell the soldiers that the danger has not yet passed and inspire them to keep up the fight against evil. As long as the wound is open, the whole world is in danger. We can't just go home and live like we used to, no matter how badly we want that to happen. Most of the Crusaders are volunteers, but they have no right to subvert military discipline. That kind of attitude is tantamount to treason, regardless of who expresses it. We have to identify the instigators, arrest them, and administer harsh punishment to make an example of them. This problem is quite simply solved with coin. By handing money over to privates is practically throwing it away. We need to pay the officers handsomely. Then they'll figure out how to raise their subordinates' morale. Tell me, Captain, what does the staff council do? In short, we make sure that whenever orders are given, they're executed properly. Our job is to keep the soldiers' morale high, so they always follow their officers' commands without question. As for the officers themselves, we look out for any unseemly or incompetent types who subvert the troops' trust. Questions for the council? Sela, what do you bring to this council? It's pretty self-explanatory. We're not fighting for a sawmill hill here. This is a crusade against the abyss. When you're up against demons, you bring a paladin. It's a rule that's tried and very much true. Reggie, what kind of help can I expect to get from you? I have extensive experience being in command, and as a Hell Knight, I possess a firmness that some of your other officers may be lacking. The essence of my council is not to spoil your troops, but to maintain their discipline strategically. Amidst the chaos of war, a general has to be a beacon of order and purpose for their soldiers. They will be just as grateful to receive rewards or lashes from such a general, and most importantly, they won't even think to disobey their orders. Darren, what are you doing on this council? Mostly, I'm just waiting for it to end. But since I have little choice, I'll give you some advice on how to charm your subordinates, be they people of importance or simple commoners. I'll tell you the biggest secret straight away. Free money. Gold has the most miraculous power there is. Captain Haramat, why did the Queen appoint you? I'd been in the Assyrian infantry for 100 years, fighting for 3 pharaohs. Then, after joining the Crusade, I served Her Majesty Galfrey for 2 more decades. I dare to hope that I've gained decent experience over those years. I see. Let's discuss our options. Sela, what's your plan? The situation is not that dire. Morale is high, and we just won a major victory. So some have let down their guards. We have to call for priests and paladins to get through to the volunteers that it's still early for celebration. If they leave for their homes today, Dresden will fall again tomorrow, and the day after, the demons will show up on their doorstep. Servants of the gods are indeed the masters of sweet-talking others into dying free of charge, all through pretty words. But when the choice comes down to inspired preaching or homemade pies, 9 of every 10 will look for comfort in their home and at their table. Their incentive needs to be more substantial than wasted breath. Reggie, what do you suggest? There is no place in the army for the mindset of playing soldier today, then going home tomorrow. These dangerous ideas must be suppressed with the utmost harshness. We'll identify the most vocal rabble-rousers and extract punishment on them as an example to others. They may be volunteers, but they join the ranks of the Crusaders. We can't abet in their rejection of their responsibilities, or we'll be heading toward complete chaos and therefore defeat. That's a great plan, if you want your soldiers to run back home twice as fast. They came here of their own volition. We must convince them to stay, not terrorize them into fighting. Darren, your opinion, please? Our forces are in good spirit. It's just that the euphoria of victory has gone to a few heads. No one can sober them up quicker than the officers, especially those of lower ranks. We'll give our dear oafs, all those surgeons and corporals, a bonus on the sly, then promise to sweeten the deal once they convince the volunteers to stay. Perhaps they will do so over a beer mug, or maybe with a broken nose. Why bother solving problems yourself when you can push them off on someone you pay? Your bot loyalty will run out even sooner than your gold. Once soldiers turn into profiteers instead of following orders, they start appraising themselves. They'll wonder whether or not it's worth their while to obey their general. I hardly need to explain the effect this will have on discipline. Captain Harmattan, what would you advise? The volunteers believe that we've almost won. Great. Let's not ruin the pretty illusion. Instead, we'll turn it to our advantage. We'll increase rations and pay for the privates, rewarding the most distinguished with commendations and gifts. Who would abandon their victors when they provide you with good food and even better coin? It's naive to expect the troops won't understand that we would just be trying to appease them. An army cannot stand if it's held together by handouts and desperate promises. We shouldn't lie to our soldiers. If we build up flimsy illusions now, the demons will shatter them later. Those fighters alongside us, must recognize the seriousness of the situation instead of celebrating victory with the war, or when the war had just begun. Thank you. It's so much reading. Oh my god. I've been reading for an hour and a half now, non-stop. Besides Greyboar's conversation. Okay, so Sela mobilize. So Sela's choice, we get glory to the heroes. Just increase morale for 5 to 10. It's a repeatable decree. Reggie, hunting down mutiny. Increases by 16 to 25. Recruitment group for trainable units reduced by 10%. The cost of recruiting mercenaries increases by 10%. Okay. Darren, bribes for the officers. Crusade morale up by 15 to 20. Takes 4,000. Wait, is that saying we get 4,000? That is this. So are we spending that much money? This just requires leadership. That just requires... So this one costs money, though. Assuming this one would, too. Distributing provisions, but a lot less. Seems like Sila's is the best choice. Yeah, just 5 to 10 with no cost. 10 to 15 with minor cost. Or a huge bonus. 15 to 20 for a big cost. Yeah, but this affects our recruitment cost. To be honest, I think this is the best one. Best of both worlds. It's not too expensive. Oh no, it's material points instead of... I don't think we're going to have a lot of trouble with morale, to be honest. Yeah, I know I don't like Sila, but why not use these priests and clerics and paladins to our advantage here? Because I think it would be effective. Do it. Sure thing. Faith has always helped me in my darkest hours and will help our soldiers too. We just need to talk to them from the heart. Yeah, just do it. Thank you, Commander. Should any other difficulties arise that require your attention, I'll deliver a new report promptly. Oh my goodness, okay. We have 2 more councils to go through, I think. A sharp-looking kitsune gives you a quick, business-like bow. Commander, the matters before us are urgent, so let's not stand on ceremony. I am Lady Konomi, the official attaché of Nerisian. Here are my credentials. She presents a scroll adorned with Galfrey's seal. Her Majesty has instructed me to lead your headquarters, Diplomatic Council. Honestly, I was surprised when Lady Konomi asked me to join this council, but I will do my best to fill the shoes of a trained diplomat. I, like many nobles, have been trained in diplomacy, and, in fact, I hold the title of Royal Emissary. It is passed down the Arundel line. I must say that prior to this day, I employed my diplomatic skills solely to undermine Mendev's international reputation. It is time to break that habit. I imagine preventing international scandals will be just as interesting as causing them. Who knows, I might even enjoy it. Is it just those 3? That'll make things quick. Alright, what's the Diplomatic Council and why do I need it? To solve matters of politics, of course. The Crusade is more than just battles and sieges. It is the largest military project in all of Avestan. Funded by the treasuries of more than a dozen major powers. And each one of these powers, in addition to seeking victory over the demons, also pursues its own goals. The Diplomatic Council will manage this tangle of political interests and prevent the Crusade from losing the favor of influential benefactors. And while we're at it, ensure that Nerisian remains satisfied with the state of affairs. After all, for the last 100 years, the entirety of Mendevian politics has revolved around the Crusades in some shape or form. That is why the capital has sent me here, to observe, offer suggestions, and keep the diplomatic situation under control. I see. You've been sent to keep an eye on me. Whatever gave you that idea, Commander? I'm not an overseer. I'm your loyal advisor. I do not intend to meddle in the way you run things, just consult with you in cases where the price of error is too high. Put your trust in me and we'll get along swimmingly. After all, none of us here want to see Cheliax or Druma at each other's throats, trying to settle their dispute by using their influence on us as political leverage. Am I wrong? And I doubt you would like it if we made enemies in the ranks of Nerisian nobility who would attempt to undermine your war effort. This won't happen as long as you trust my experience. Tell me more about the Royal Council. What is it? The Royal Council, operating under Her Majesty, is the highest governing body in Mendev and comprises her most able and trusted servants. It is responsible for day-to-day matters of state. They are the hands and the voice of the Queen. The Council has gathered people from all walks of life. Some of them are nobles, but many of them are citizens of humble origins, who earn their position through their wit. Many are rich, but a fair number of them are more humble or of more humble means. Some are pious and pure of heart, like Lord Inquisitor Kasori and Captain Jaspar of the Crusader Heralds. Others are more flexible and ambitious, but each of them faithfully serves Mendev's cause. I have questions about the composition of this council. Social has never had to deal with diplomatic concerns before. That won't be a problem. In my homeland, Tianxia, inviting clerics and paladins of Shellen, the Lady of Chrysanthemums, to take part in diplomatic missions is a common practice. They may not be politicians, but they are perceptive, advocate peace, and favor balanced solutions. I'm flattered by the respect that the worshippers of my goddess receive in Lady Konomi's homeland. Socio bows his head courteously. I won't let you down, Menarak, and I'll make every effort to prevent our friends from becoming our enemies. I need a drink. All right. Why did you want Daeron to take part in the council? Why? Because of Count Arendae's influence, naturally. He's a Mendevian aristocrat. The nobility will be inclined to listen to his opinion, and by ensuring the support of the nobles, we'll find ourselves powerful allies. Daeron sneers back at her. Oh, believe me, Lady Konomi, I will exert all my effort and influence to make this council's job exciting. Tell me about yourself. Lady Konomi lowers her eyes in a show of modesty. It's unbecoming of a diplomat to talk about themselves at length, but how am I to refuse you? I come from Tianxia, from the noble Kitsune. Like any Kitsune, I have always been curious to a fault, and my adventures brought me to Aveston, and here, in your lands, I met my first and true love, politics. I have served as a diplomat in the courts of 6 different sovereigns, but working for Her Majesty turned out to be the most interesting of all. Such riveting webs of intrigues and interests are spun around the crusade and the world boon. What's on the council's agenda today? I hate to say it, Commander, but not everyone in Nerisian is pleased with your progress. Some believe that, to use their words, you are out of control and fancy yourself an independent leader. It wouldn't surprise me if you encountered supply disruptions in the near future. I would suggest quelling their anger. Show the capital you haven't forgotten about the chain of command. For example, you could hold a parade in honor of Her Majesty. If we need to demonstrate that we're keeping Nerisian in mind, why don't we invite the capital's High Priest of Dresden to Dresden for a religious festival? It'll be appropriate, and the church's support will shield us from the accusations of schemers. Pander to the naysayers? I think not. I propose we hold a parade in your honor, Menarak. This is your victory, and if Cousin Galfrey wants to show off in front of the soldiers, she's welcome to capture something of her own. What did I do to incur Nerisian's discontent? You were too good. You reclaimed Canabris, you won the Battle of Dresden, you're a menace to the world boon. Your authority grows and the influence of the Queen's confidants diminishes. This creates an impression that there's only enough space for you at the top. The members of the Royal Council are afraid that you will muscle them out of the political arena altogether. After all, if you're doing so well, maybe Her Majesty doesn't need them that much. Therefore, they might try to discredit you, impede your war effort, reduce the scale of your victories, make some concessions, and they'll see that you're open to negotiations. Celestial, without a doubt, we should remain loyal to the Queen and respect the hierarchy. But that doesn't mean we have to kowtow to the Royal Council whenever they ask. I think we should neither do their bidding nor seek to quarrel with them. Rather, we should try to take the middle path. The High Priest of Nerisian is a powerful figure, yet he's not a schemer or a politician. By inviting him to the festival, we'll both show that we're not cutting ties with Nerisian, and let them know that we have influential friends and are not about to buckle under the Royal Council. Daeron, what's the point of taunting the capital? There's a fine line between taunting and setting boundaries, and between showing respect and putting on a collar. Mind you, I'm not suggesting anything treasonous or disrespectful. A parade in honor of the true hero Dresden and Canabris. What could be more natural than that? Besides, a healthy amount of disobedience guarantees that people won't pester you with lectures and nonsense as often, A dozen tutors responsible for my upbringing can attest to that. Provoking the capital would be unwise. We're trying to avoid unpleasant consequences, not expedite them. I'm sure that was merely an extravagant jest on the Count's part. No, it definitely wasn't. What good will a parade in Her Majesty's honor do? It will be symbolic and affordable. Show them how much you respect and value Her Majesty. Make a curtsy to those who pay for your arrows, your swords, and bread. The Royal Council has power. You wouldn't want to turn those patrons into adversaries and test whose influence is greater, yours or theirs. Please them, and they will stop worrying about your loyalty, and you will be able to focus on your war. Okay. So we can get religious feasts. Energy point income increases by 20%. Finance income is reduced by 10% for 30 days. Hold a parade. Finance points increase by 10% for 30 days. Organize a parade in my honor. Commander's Parade. The cost of recruiting mercenary units is reduced by 7.5%. Material point income reduced by 25%. Ooh, I don't know about that. Get more finance points by 10%. Energy point income, but finance points. That 25% decrease to materials point seems pretty bad. I would like to do this one though. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, let's try and do more role play instead of the actual things here. A moment, Commander. I understand that you're used to being the highest authority in all matters, but political decisions are an exception. I am a professional in this field. You are not. By ignoring my recommendations, you are not only deliberately seeking conflict with the capital, but disregarding common sense as well. I urge you to reconsider. You think you have the right to talk back to me? You've invited my companions to the Diplomatic Council, and now you refuse to listen to their opinions? There will be a parade in my honor whether you like it or not. A persuasive speech. Very well, I changed my mind. You invited them to the council, and now you don't want to listen to them. I'm simply suggesting that you give your companions time to find their feet in the council and to grasp the principles of being a diplomat. Also, if they weren't on the council, your decisions could be mistaken for the decree of a tyrant. And that is definitely not the public image you need. Now I understand the role that I've been given, Lady Kenomi. I'm supposed to stand in a pretty doublet, whatever, and keep my mouth shut. I can promise you the former, but not the latter. You think you have the right to talk back to me? She shrugs disarmingly. I do hope you'll forgive this little revolt. I'm merely doing my job by trying to satisfy my superiors from the capital, who are, incidentally, your superiors as well. The only superior I have is the Queen. And even that won't be for long. There will be a parade in my honor, whether you like it or not. Her voice hardens. I cannot challenge your decision. However, I have no choice but to inform the capital that you have disregarded my recommendations. Actions like these are precisely what gave Nerissine cause for concern, Commander. I hope you will revise this defiant stance in the future. Oh, this is going to be one glorious parade. I'll make sure of it. An appropriate balance between spectacle and military pragmatism. The best musicians playing hymns, aesthetically pleasing warriors. After this, recruits from all over Aveston will come running to fight under your banner. And with that, we can bring this meeting of the Diplomatic Council to a close. It is unfortunate that things were so tense, but I'm sure we'll soon have many more opportunities to resolve any misunderstandings between us. Yeah, you're not going to live. I imagine she will be dead by the end of this playthrough. I think this is the last one. Dorglinda Stranglehold. Hail, Commander. A middle-aged dwarf who has clearly seen some combat salutes you with one barely moving bone-dry hand. On her face are huge scarred claw marks. A black eye patch covers one eye, but she's watching you with the other, intent and somber. Dorglinda Stranglehold, Chair of the Logistics Council, at your service. We've got ourselves an ugly situation that requires your decision. I hope I won't get in anyone's way if I join you. Richelieu looks around with visible worry. I think I could give some good advice here, if you don't mind, of course. I will definitely prove useful for this council. I know more about survival than all the Uplanders combined. I will teach your soldiers how to procure whatever they need, even in a place as unforgiving as the World Moon. But most importantly, I can tell you how to use what you have wisely. Everything is always in short supply in the caves, so Neithers are experts at conserving resources. I won't lie to you. Our logistics are a mess. We need more of everything, and what we do have is in disarray. Crates of provisions are rotting away in storehouses because some idiot quartermaster spilled beer on the papers. And fools are not the worst problems. There's also theft. Some officers grease palms to get a helmet with a stylish plumage, or a fancy blade from Nerisium. Meanwhile, that means the ordinary soldiers are being armed with barely more than kitchen knives. Hammer and tongs. It's time to give the entire logistics staff the bums rush. Rush their bums. Hell yeah. The question is, where do we find capable and honest people to replace them? These scoundrels must be replaced with decent, honorable people, selfless souls, who have proven that they put their comrades' lives above all else, especially their own wealth. Surely that's who will take the best care of our soldiers. I've seen the people who are in charge of gear in our mercenary units. Those are razor-sharp fighters. They're gritty, tight-fisted, and hard-boiled, unlike our dolts. If we convince them to work for us instead, they'll put things in order here. And they might help us come to an understanding with other mercenaries if need be. My suggestion is to call some experienced, well-connected supply officers from Nerisian. Let them have their cushy jobs in Mendev and work up a sweat for the good of the crusade. What is the responsibility of this council? The Logistics Council deals with all matters relating to the supplying of the army. Most issues will be trivial and undeserving of your attention, however. From time to time, some serious decisions will be made. That's when I'll convene the council. Richelieu, why are you here? You think I shouldn't have joined? Richelieu looks away sheepishly. It's just, well, I spent a lot of time studying how armies work, both Crusader and Demonic. When I was spying, I think my advice might be useful, or at least I hope it will be. But if I am a bother, I'll leave, of course. I wish I was good. I like Richelieu a lot. Winterwog, how can you be of use to this council? Who knows more about survival than us Neithers? I know what to do, and how to win, and when everything is scarce. You Uplanders have been spoiled by abundance. You have no idea what treasures you have at your disposal, right at your fingertips. I will teach the Crusaders how to use what they have, and how to find what they don't. Brooklynda? Over my years of doing quartermaster duty, I managed to develop a bit of a reputation for myself. The units I'm responsible for are always prepared, or properly equipped, armed and fed. Thieves, scatterbrains, and reprobates promptly get the boot. Bureaucrats who never seem to have anything miraculously find everything they need after meeting with me. In short, don't worry, Commander. I'm right where I belong. Alright, let's talk about this. Richelieu? A quartermaster's job is to care for the well-being of the soldiers they're equipping for battle. That means the best people to appoint to those positions are people who really care. Those who will keep their fighters warm, fed, and properly armed. Maybe they won't have the most experience, but that's alright. It's easier to teach someone numbers and how to run a warehouse than it is to instill a conscience in them. And those soft-hearted fools will immediately squander everything we have. No. The one who watches the goods must be stingy, angry, and suspicious, or they'll be swindled by every passing scoundrel. Windu? Take into your ranks whoever's responsible for managing supplies among the mercenaries, the crabbiest and most miserly individuals you can find. They can guard our goods. We're short on everything not because we have too little, but because we have too much, and we're giving it away whenever someone comes to whine. Gear must be expended carefully and sparingly. Such charity is unheard of amongst mercenaries. The way they see it, every warrior must be able to take care of their needs first, before relying on the help of their unit. You'll see. Once you stop wiping your fighters' noses, they'll quickly learn to fend for themselves, and they'll become fiercer and deadlier than before. Dorklinda? There are some great workers in Mendev who have been sitting at home for way too long. Let the Queen send them to us, instead of counting buttons for the frock coats of Nerisian Royal Guard. Let them sort out our supplies, and they'll already have connections in Nerisian. They could easily have army property decommissioned and later sold to private buyers for next to nothing. And those buyers will just happen to be the same mercenaries we're negotiating with. Dorklinda makes a face. Connections are all too important, as you well know. Alright, Arushales gets us ready for anything. Unit has... Oh, +2 bonus on all saving throws. That's pretty good. Windu. Everybody has 10% maximum HP. Okay. Unit has +1 to attack and all saving throws. I think we're gonna go Windbog. Pick the shrewdest, toughest mercenaries you can find. Good. They'll teach the others to live a hard life. It'll make them stronger. Whenever my hunters had been hungry for a couple of days, they'd hunt their prey with twice as much energy. Then it's decided. No matter what our new quartermasters are like, there's no possible way they can be worse than what we have now. The result will be reported to you, and if anything else comes up, I'll call the council right away. Oh, thank God. Whew. Alright, guys, we're going to end the episode there. This is going to turn into 2 episodes, but man, that was a lot of reading. Oh, man, I'm going to have to take a break before the next episode. Well, until then, though, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.